All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna end up listening to myself. I am Chloe, and this is Rise and Write, our 10 a.m. on Thursday show. I'm gonna be writing for the next 2 hours. We're gonna be actually following a strict schedule. Sorry about that. Oh, geez, I hit the wrong button every single time. So I pull up YouTube, so I can actually watch comments in real time, and then I go into a panic I when I hear talking. I could mute tab. I don't. But so I go into that panic, and then next thing I know, I'm pausing instead of muting and just ruining everything. So, anyways, we are going to be following a pretty strict writing schedule today. I know that I've been bad the last 2 days because cheesecake part 1 and part 2. No more cheesecakes for this show, at least for a while. So we're going to be doing just 5-minute breaks and 20-minute sprints, except for this first one is going to be 10 minutes. Let me know what y'all are working on, whether it's a writing or something else. If you are wrapping presents, that's cool. If you are screwing around on your phone, I don't care, but I want to know. Just so I know what's going on in everybody else's world. We don't get to connect to each other's world that much anymore, and it's weird. Shadow, I'm glad that you love the cheesecake. There will be more eventually. And actually, my roommate, he was on last night's show for about 20 seconds, and he now wants us to have an actual like cooking show. So after this, I'll mention it again toward the end of the show. But after this, we are going to be making some brioche at probably about 12:30 Eastern time. My computer is loading something right now. And that's why I dual box this today. Yeah, I'm dual boxing, streaming right in. Just because that's what my setup is now. But anyway, so at 12:30 today, we're going to attempt to make some brioche bread. He wants to start filming everything, and I'm cool with it. So we're going to be on my personal YouTube channel and also my Twitch channel. Both of them are Chloe Alice Balkin, whichever way you are. But we're going to be filming that. He got really excited. And at first he was like, I want to do this to help you monetize your Twitch, which would be great. But the more we talked about it, the more it was like, we just really want to do a cooking show. I'm not stupid enough to think that like we could end up hitting the big time like some people do with their shows, but we both love cooking, so we're gonna have a cooking show. But again, I'll mention this closer to the end of the show again, for anybody who's looking to just hop over. Oh, this is weird. So I'm signing up for Epic Games right now because they've got this freebie thing going that I didn't know about. And now it wants to know how I want to sign in with my Epic account. But like one of my options is with my Steam account. And I feel like they're direct competitors. That's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our first sprint going. Again, this one is going to be for 10 minutes. 5 is the wrong number. This is going to be for 10 minutes. And it is 1:15, so I'll see you guys now. Oh my God. I shouldn't be thinking today because I'm obviously not thinking. It is 5 past. We're going to write for 10 minutes, which is going to take us to 1:15. Hopefully you guys do better than me during this. Okay, we are back. My mouse died for a moment there. It's okay. Let me know how you guys did. I made a cup of coffee. And I cleaned the kitchen some, which in no way is indicative of me not getting work done today. I'm absolutely getting work done today or this morning, but I just needed to do that little bit of stuff. So kitchen is clean. Second cup of coffee is acquired. I am still feeling very sleepy, but that's okay. I had one of those mornings. I feel like this is probably a normal thing, even though I don't know other people's brains. I had a dream this morning, and I was woken up from that dream. And so now I'm just like real groggy today. And also I overslept. So I didn't wake up until like 9:15, and that was to my roommate asking me a question because he assumed I was up because I'm usually up by that. The dream, I can't recall anything about, except I kept recommending clementines, like the little oranges. I can't explain that, but dreams are dreams. Not like recommending people to eat them, like, hey, clementines are delicious, eat them. No, like, you should use a clementine for that. Clementines are great for that. I don't know. Brain gonna brain. Shadow added a bunch of words on their edit. 34 words written. I guess if I go like bit by bit with my edits, if I'm only looking at like what I've done in the last 10 minutes, and I probably do have moments like that, like, hey, this is that one time I just added this whole last paragraph. But in general, my count always goes down in edits. I always, my first edit, I usually cut about 15%. And then after that, I cut at least 10%. I can never stop cutting words, which is probably why I just got that, review where they mentioned that I am lean on description. Because I cut all that. Also, look at that focus today. Are you focused on that blanket? Is that what that is focused on? If I smush that blanket, will it stop doing that? I don't know. So good news is we're already going into the next sprint. I've been doing all of this weird stuff during the show lately. Oh no, it's focused on the cat now, isn't it? So I've been doing all this weird stuff on my show lately, and now there, it's on me. Okay. I'm looking at what's playing on YouTube right now because of this dual box thing that's going on. So if I comment on something going on my video and it seems really late, that's why. Anyways, so I've been doing so much on my show lately where I've been like baking or, had a buddy to talk to or what have you, then now I don't know what to do with myself when I'm by myself anymore. I was just starting to get better at it, and now here we are. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and move on to our next sprint. We're going to go for 20 minutes this time. So let me get that changed and hopefully I remember how this app works and I can, wow, I have some weird times on there. So we're going to go for 20 minutes. You can't see what I'm looking at because it fell off that window, but this thing has, oh my God, do you see how it just started on its own? This thing has a, here, I could do this and show you. It's got all of these options, which, it's still not popping up on the screen, is it? There we go. It has all of these options that makes it really convenient, and I can like change the color and stuff. But so I've got this recent inputs. There's also save timers, which I believe are timers that I just like shut off in the middle of them. I can change the color. It's fun. I like this app a lot better than using YouTube videos. Okay. So we're going to go for the next 20 minutes, and it is 21 past. So I will see you guys at 41 past. Okay, we are back. And I was looking at the wrong timer because of delays, so I thought I had 10 more seconds, and I did not. I did get a bunch of writing done, though. I don't know how much. I didn't keep track, but that's okay. Excuse me. Courtney and Rose have joined us. Thank you all for popping in today. Courtney, we'll know tomorrow how it turned out when we actually slice into it, but it looked like a cheesecake this morning. I don't know if you were there for like my technical difficulty part. I did mess up slightly, and so the pecan pie broke through the surface, and so I'm gonna have like a pecan pie swirl cheesecake. But that is something that is easily fixed by spooning the topping on instead of pouring it like a dumbass. So I feel good about it. It is very firm on top, but that is pecan pie. I just made money. Excuse that sound. It scares the cats. It's really funny. They think it comes from the sky. But yeah, so we'll see how it tastes tomorrow, but I think it came out well. Hey, Kat from the Twitch side of things. One of these days I'll come up with a system for letting people know who I'm talking to. I guess like the real easy thing to do would be to do that so that no matter whether you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube, you know which one you're on. But that's too complicated for me. I'm going to keep doing it for now. So Shadow got a little five little words. Very little editing because spouse called. Understandable. I actually like I got a whole bunch of words in. Like I actually did do a pretty solid sprint in that, but I also had to stop to do research. So this is my funny story of the day because I'm sure at least some of you have probably known this your entire lives. I am 40 and I learned today. So I'm doing my demon story. Some of them absolutely have hooves. And they're in like basically an earthquake right now. And they're outside, they're in combat. Earthquake happens, the ground is getting all busted up. One of them who has hooves is like, thank God for the hooves because it makes me really good at handling stuff like this. And I'm saying that thinking about goats. But then I realize I don't understand how goats are good at climbing things with hooves. Like this doesn't make any sense to me. How would walking on something hard be better? Like comparing a hard-soled shoe to walking on foot. Obviously my feet are better at holding things than, something that's got no grip on it. So I went to the Googles and I found out that I've always been under the impression that like with a hoof, like if this is a hoof, obviously this is a mouse, but like if this is the top of the hoof and this is the bottom of the hoof, that this entire thing is solid. And this is just one solid hunk of hoof. But that's not the case. I'm going to turn that off so it doesn't blind people. As probably many of you know this, and I had no idea, the bottom side of the hoof, this is all soft tissue. This is all basically foot right here. It is the sole. It's soft. So it just has this like hard part here. And then the rest of this is soft, which also explains now to me why horseshoes are cruel. I've heard that before, and I had no idea why some people had issue with horseshoes. And I'm guessing, depending on how you do it, you end up nailing it directly into their foot. I don't know. This was specifically for goats that I found out. And of course, they're cloven hooves, so it's like two of those things. But Yeah, so that's what I learned today. Am I dumb for not knowing this in advance? I don't know. I've never been a farm person. I've never been a horse person. I've lived in rural areas, but like I'm also vegetarian, so um I've never like seen a pig's foot in like a food. Like I've never held a pig's foot to eat, so I don't know how that works. Um, yeah, okay, good. So Courtney is absolutely that person that I'm thinking about. That like I'm sure I look dumb too, but I mean that's also life. Like you know, no matter how smart you are, there's always going to be things that you don't know because it's just not part of your life. Yeah, so I'm glad that I got to amuse Courtney with this story of what I just learned, and hopefully I got to teach somebody something as well. Um, um, yeah. Okay. Same with Shadow. It's. I'm just glad to know it now. Okay, let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We are going to go for 20 again, and it is 10:47 in Atlanta, so that takes us to 11:07. I'll see you guys then. I knew what time it was that time. I just was desperate to finish this sentence, and I didn't get it done in time. So let me do this right quick. Okay, that is done, and that is a finished scene. I'm not keeping track of my words so much, but I got about, I don't know, I think I did about 600 so far today. So yay. Also, I didn't read your full comment. Like, I saw it and I skimmed it, but I didn't read the entire thing before. So Shadow says, yeah, I learned to clean horses' feet. I am terrified of horses. And yeah, funny hearing this, but not everyone has that experience. I pull this up because I am also terrified of horses. I don't know if I've mentioned it on this show before, but I've never liked them. My earliest experience with them would have been like marching band, probably. I don't know. I just was never a horse person, and I was never around them until middle school, when I was in marching band, having to do the parades. And so, if you're in a parade with a horse, then a horse is pretty much the grossest thing ever, because of horse poop. So I certainly didn't have like a positive introduction into horses. And then the more I learned about them, the more I was like, yeah, I'm really glad that I don't live in a time where I ever need to come in close contact with a horse. And like, I've got friends who are horse people. I have friends who love horses. To each their own. I'm not gonna rag on anybody for liking horses, but like, they kick and they throw people. And their jaws are strong enough to bite your arm off. Their jaws and their teeth. I don't know that it's ever happened that a horse has just bitten somebody's like entire hand off, but these are the things that I think about. So yeah, I'm not a fan of horses. And every once in a while, of course, I do have to write horses. And I never know what to do with them. Like, I do my best, and I rely on the fact that, like, I write romance. So if the horse isn't perfectly a horse, I write fantasy and paranormal romance. So if the horse isn't like 100% horse-like, I feel like I'm okay. So further explanation on Shadow's horse fear. My dad trained and cared for horses for the Kentucky Derby. I was thrown from one when I was 12, and it almost stepped on my ankle, and I twisted my ankle in the fall. And ever since then, I was terrified. Yes. So, another story with that, and then we'll go on to the next sprint. I have one of my best friends from college. So we went to a school where you could take pretty much anything imaginable as a college credit. She took horseback riding for one semester, and it went great. And then the very first day of the second semester, the horse threw her, and she immediately withdrew from the class. And I believe she has never been on a horse again. I've never thought to ask her that, but I feel like she would have told me if she had finally gotten back on a horse again. So, yeah, I get that. I totally do. And I know, so many people are like, well, if they throw you, you just get back on it and keep going. And I'm like, no, as somebody who does not have to do this, If a horse ever threw me, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go get my bike now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do our next sprint. We've got 2 more sprints today. It is 11:13, so I will see you guys at 11:33. Good luck, everybody. There I go again, missing the timer. I guess, you know what? I'm going to take it as a good thing because that means I'm actually like writing and getting into the story again. And I've been really bad this month. So if these little things are, slowing me down, that's fine. I just had to do more research into how to actually clean hooves. And of course, it took me a while. Like, I just needed to know if they were cleaning his hoof, what they were going to be using. And the internet took me on a whole lot of crazy adventures of like, just use your screwdriver or just like close the scissors and jam them in. And I'm like, that, I mean, I get that works on a farm. But I feel like that's not what they would, it's like saying, well, just use a toothpick to clean out your nail. Like, that's not how we would actually do it. And then I found out that there was actually a hoof pick. So that was taken care of. We do have one more sprint that we're going to get going in a few minutes here. And then I'm going to be taking a slight break, and then I am going to be jumping over to Twitch to do, I guess I'm going to also be on my personal YouTube channel for the first part. I'm going to be making brioche. I've never made brioche before. We're making, so Ken's mother is here, and like, I guess back in the day, when he was little, she used to make orange cinnamon rolls. I didn't know this was a thing, or cinnamon orange. I don't know the right way of saying it, but cinnamon rolls that also have orange in it. So, for Christmas, that's what his mom used to make. So we're trying to make it since she's here. Neither of us know how to do this kind of thing, but we're going to try to make brioche, in order to make these buns. We're good at other stuff. Bread is something that eludes us. So we're going to be filming our first attempt at brioche, and that is going to be on my Twitch channel, probably, and also on my personal Chloe Alice Balkin YouTube channel. And that's going to be at about 12:30, and then probably around 2-ish, I'm going to be hopping back on to do some World of Goo, which is an old video game from like, it was from like the early days of Wii. I'm playing it on my computer. I'll be doing that on Twitch. So this is just going to be like a whole day of me being live. But yeah, so we're going to do the brioche, and then that is going to sit overnight in our fridge. And then tomorrow we'll have a part 2 on that where we make the rolls. And yeah, so I'm excited. It's a new thing. It's something different that we've never done before, but like, I'm enjoying this little bit of internet world. And Shadow, you wrote 29 words, so you had like some big sentences that you just threw in. And yeah, I agree. Like, oh, I wouldn't use a script. Like, I get if you're in a situation where like, I'm sure things happen where occasionally it's like, oh God, I have to deal with this right now. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there were like hoof emergencies, or like if you're using like, if you're in a rough situation where you have to just use what's on hand, again, like using a toothpick to clean out your fingernails. Like, sometimes these things just happen, but like, don't tell people on the internet to use a screwdriver. Or again, my favorite was like closed scissors. Just close your scissors and jam them in there. Like, oh my God. Anyways, it is what it is. So Shadow deleted and rewrote sentences. That's fair too. I wrote 138 words while also doing that research. So that felt pretty good to me. And yeah, I tried to make a rosemary loaf like 5 years ago, and I messed up the egg wash for it. And I was like, this is dumb. I'm never making bread again. But here we are. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe brioche will be easier. I don't know. Or maybe it'll be a disaster. And that's why we also bought a can of cinnamon rolls. So we do have something for lunch if everything goes disastrous. But let's go ahead and get this last sprint in. And then I will pop over to the kitchen to do my first attempt at brioche. God, I wish my focus was doing better today. My camera focus, not me focus. I am done with the second cup of coffee, and there's my focus. Okay, so we're going for 20 minutes. It is 38 past, so I will see you guys just shy of the hour. Okay, that is time up. I did some writing and I did a bit of research. I have a character who's taking psychology classes, and hopes that she's going to help her, um, her her partner, who has PTSD because of abuse. But so she's taking psychology classes to help him. But she doesn't want him to know that. So she's got all of her textbooks in brown paper, with like boring business titles on them. So I did a little bit of research and do like business classes to find boring business titles. And unfortunately, because deep down inside I am ever a scholar, all of the classes, I was like, actually, this sounds really interesting and I want to take it. Like, I am not, I would absolutely never want a job as like a business person. But like I could do, if I was into like doing statistics, stuff like that. I do love math, but like actual business stuff, I would never be able to do it. But all of these classes sounded really interesting to me, or they were phrased in a way that I was like, a demon might be like, what is this? And I opened that book. So I ended up with like the enterprise value chain. I have no idea what that means. And business statistics and operation management. Okay. So that is the end of this sprint today. Like I said, I'll be back on in about a half hour in my personal channel, Chloe Alice Balkin, or on the Twitch channel that is right there. If I turn it right, I'll be back there in about a half hour to make some brioche. And that one I will be making the dough today. And then tomorrow, early morning, we're going to do a show part 2 on finishing the dough and making the rolls. So that's what's happening in a half hour. And then tomorrow morning. And then later this afternoon, I'm going to do some gaming because I'm into gaming again. So that'll be only on the Twitch channel. What was the other thing? Oh, and I am planning on doing some word sprints tomorrow, but it's going to be when everybody else goes out for like visiting family stuff. So I don't know when exactly that's going to be. It's probably going to be around noon Eastern, but just we'll be on this channel. So if you're looking for sprints tomorrow, just, pop in, see if we're going. Because I'll probably be doing that a bit too now that I'm actually writing. So I'm going to go move everything over to the kitchen, and maybe I'll see you guys in a few minutes on my other channel. You guys all have a great day. And if I don't see you again, and you celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. And good luck out there.